All right, guys. Downwind dialogue. Maybe number 7. I don't know, 70. But we're here with Nick Kapule. I'll give you guys a brief little intro. My intro of Nick, because he's our guest. But Nick is an OG. He's been foiling with us for several years now. In my opinion, he's always overlooked. As far as his skill, his ability, his athleticism, and his speed. He's definitely one of the fastest guys in our crew. Even though he didn't have a strong multi last year.
Yeah.
Bro, it's
We'll
most
talk about
good.
that later.
We'll talk about it later. But Nick rides a 110. He's super fast. He's up there battling the likes of Edo and Andrew when we have our John Hearn races. Does super well. Yeah, like I said, been foiling for several years now. Was actually one of the first ones in our crew to get into supping. There was a time when, we were proning for a while, downing for a while, and Jack, Nick, and Eric Sturman were the first ones to kind of start venturing into that whole sup mode.
Yeah.
And for a while, we were just kind of like skeptical or sup deniers. And then we finally all got into it.
No one knew what the route was for foiling,
Yeah.
And I got my first little flight 6-foot board.
Bruh. And that thing was, that blue flight board from Kef.
Yeah. You remember Kev?
6.0, 24 wide, maybe.
And we learned
how many liters was that? Like
91, I think.
91.
And I weighed 200 pounds too, so I was learning on that thing, I went to Queens twice to practice on it. And I started paddling, and I started paddling in a circle, and I didn't know how to ride that thing.
Yeah.
And then Jack and I actually sent our first Hawaii. We were the first ones.
Wait, did you sup before though? Didn't you have like a?
Oh yeah. So my dad had a back injury.
Give me an upbringing story, boy.
Yeah. So my dad was always stand-up paddling. So he bought me like this 6.0 stand-up paddle board, like surfboard, when I was a kid, and I just ripped on that thing. It was so fun.
Where'd you grow up surfing?
The secret.
Secret.
No, no. Toes, Old Man's, Tongs. Like I grew up over there.
South Shore, yeah.
Yeah, South Shore, and yeah. So I had that background, so it's easy to pick up.
Yeah.
And I used to love stand-up surfing because I could get into waves early. I was standing up and having the paddle and cranking a turn with the paddle so you could lean on it.
The extra leg right there.
Yeah.
Kickstand.
Yeah. So I learned on that. So it's actually an easier transition than normal. But
how did you get into foiling?
Oh, dude, it was during COVID, and I would go surf every day with my sisters. And I was kind of sick and tired of like half-foot waves, and that was the time there was nothing else to do. And then I saw you, I saw Jack, I saw Kahi, all these guys on their foils, and I was like, bro, what is that?
Bro. And
I picked my first one up from Jeff Chang and just got hooked.
What did you get?
I got this massive neon board with a Cloud 9. Bro, it was like a half moon kind, and thought it was the coolest thing at the time. I was like, bro, this thing is epic, and I'm gonna just blow by everybody. So I learned every day. I stopped surfing, and went out to like Kaupo and Tongs and just repped it out every day. And bro, it took months. Yeah. But now you don't even need to go through that struggle, with foil drives.
E-foil guy too. This guy has a viral video that went off, and another viral video, the shark one, bro. Iron.
Yeah.
Wild, but I don't know. I feel like foil drives could be good.
Yeah.
I think the other methods, we towing behind a boat. But I think in all honesty, the best way to learn and get into it would be prone.
Yeah.
Because the hardest thing, you're learning multiple things at once, which is paddling into a wave, and then like standing up, and you can kind of feel the sweet spot, the stance, and kind of what it feels like to fly. But you don't need to like really hone in that sensation. I think the hardest part is activating on the
Yeah.
And then even with supping and dominating out, the hardest part, I don't know, maybe that's debatable. The hardest part though can be activating on the foil.
Yeah.
And then for us, that second learning curve is downwind.
Because I'm teaching a bunch of people right now, and the hardest thing they have is the pop-up, because I see them paddling for the wave, and then the board just rises up, and you got to stomp that front foot in.
Yeah. It's like, I guess it goes against everybody's like
traditional
like
knowledge,
nature of just, you know, not leaning forward, right, and just leaning back and being back-footed and just
it's definitely different.
But that's definitely for sure the hardest, in my opinion, the hardest thing to learn is in the surf, rising up and foiling. But shoot, there's so much to learn, and you know, like, it's crazy, like, looking back at what we've done and how we started, and
going back to our first Hawaii Kai run.
Oh yeah.
So Jack and I, you know, we were like, okay, we're gonna go send Hawaii Kai today. It was nuking wind, super windy. We got his mom to drive us up to China Walls, and we said a prayer there that day. So Jack got it. Jack got his first sup. I was on my prone still, and I was like, okay, let's. We said a prayer. Do
you remember what Jack's first sup was? Almonds board, like 5'8" maybe, something small,
80 liters or something, 78 liters, and we said our prayer. We had our phones, our water. I had a banana in my backpack, and we called Simeon, and we were like, okay, we're gonna send the run. Like, just watch out. Like, are you on the ski today? Like, we made sure you were on the ski.
Pre-Apple Watch days.
Yeah. And then we sent it. He went, paddled up into the bumps. I caught a wave inside of like the finger. Yeah. And then he made it. I think he fell once or twice, but he could get right back up. Yeah. I ate it right outside Kahala. But I took the inside line. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna make it. And there's this kind of bomb set coming. So I caught a wave, and I rode that wave as far in as I could.
You went in?
Yeah, I didn't know at the time.
Yeah.
So I rode it all the way in. I was like, okay, I'm gonna stay on this bump as long as I can. And I was almost at like blinker buoy on the inside.
Oh my gosh. And then you were reef-running it the whole way.
And then I realized, I was like, oh, there's some bumps here.
Yeah.
So I started pumping out, and I was dripping sweat. I was like,
no Camelback, nothing.
Yeah.
We didn't have the knowledge to bring Camelbacks.
I know. So then I was just exhausted, pumping back out, and I was slowly pumping back out, and I like
light flashed up before you.
Yeah. And I just got exhausted like Kahala. And that was at the 170 too. So that was...
No, it's crazy. Like, looking back at it now, I remember Jack calling me, and he was like asking a lot of questions about Hawaii Kai run. And I've done Hawaii Kai for years and years on the canoe, so you know, I had a good sense. And I always thought that it was doable because the foils are so efficient. On mediocre days, it just would have to be like a zero error run. And I think at the time we didn't have the skill set, or maybe like the foils weren't good enough to, you know, like the foils now are so great that we're going out on days when it's like going 5 to 10 miles an hour, and we're having fun, and we're like joking. You know, we call it there's like a local fitness gym, it's called F45. We call going on these runs the F195. It's way harder, but like we've been having fun with it. But yeah, I remember like just like Jack calling me, and just it was like just me like recommending to him, like, bro, it's got to be nuking, and it's got to be like, we didn't know, like we had no idea. And even what you just shared, like how you just ran in, like whenever we get off, and when we're going Hawaii Kai runs out, we jump off and we paddle out to the moonline.
Far out.
You know, we'd never go on the inside. The inside is terrible.
But like, bumps,
I guess that's just like the full-on fear instincts of running, staying close to land, and kind of near the waves.
If you fall, you can get.
If you fall, you can get at, right? I think even on my my Hawaii Kai run attempt, I took off at fingers. And I was pumping. I wasn't heading in towards blinker pole, but I was heading like just straight laterally across.
Still no bumps over there too.
Terrible. Because there's like a huge wind shadow. But
did you make that run?
I had a speed reach right outside Kaiko's.
So you pretty much made it.
So I made the bay. And then at speed reach at Kaiko's, and then came in and reached it. So, and I haven't done one since, but we should go try. You know, like if we're all bored and going on flat days, we should go back out on the prone and send it. But if we were to go again, it's like, it's funny. I wouldn't like productively start chipping away at the run. I would catch a wave and go straight out and go straight to the bumps where you could rest and recover.
You pump parallel to China Walls, straight out, and then go. You know, that's the way to go now.
No brainer now.
If you were catching a wave.
No brainer now, because you would be having the wind at your back,
Yeah.
and then you would get into texture right away.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe that's what we should start doing for everybody. It's almost like a little like rebirth, or like the circle of voyaging life starts all over again.
That area is so tricky though, because you know you get the offshore winds, you get the ground swell, and then you get the wind swell.
Oh, it's wild, bro.
Tell everybody, if you can pop up there, you can pop up anywhere.
Bro, the guys who come over from Maui, they trip out. And like even Eric, who lives on our same island, and he's learned up on the North Shore.
Yeah.
He hates Hawaii Kai runs, or not. He doesn't hate it, but he just hates the chip and the takeoff. And it's got to be the most hectic scenario. But like, you know, like for us, we're like, oh yeah, no,
That's all we know. Yeah.
that's all we know,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So when we go to the Maui's, or when we go to like North Shore, I actually like it's like ironically, it's like too easy. It's like too good to be true. Like, I have a hard time popping up over there. You know, it's like it's too corduroy or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, it's wild because you have groundswell coming in, you got the wind blowing straight out the channel, you got the refraction off of channel walls and, you know, Portlock Cliffs and Spinning Caves area, and then you got bumps coming in from the channel. Yeah. So it's just like the gnarliest, like whirlpool.
I don't even know what to tell people too when they go out there. What do you say? Like
for like
advice,
learners,
you know, paddle as far out as you can, and point out.
Point out.
Yeah.
I think
everybody tries to point in.
What I've been telling people now too is like, hey, this is the gnarliest spot to, like, you know, like if you get up, freaking great. Yeah. You got super lucky. Yeah. But like really, if like have a couple goes at it, and if you don't get up, like save your energy. Yeah. Like lie down and paddle into the bay. Yeah. Like
it gets easier.
Just 5 minutes into the bay, 10 minutes into the bay, boom, it starts cleaning up and opening up, and you lose probably like 3 or 4 of those other factors that we were talking about. But
I remember I was on the flight board learning, and couldn't get up one time, and you just sit there and you just go. Just exhausted, and you get pissed off because someone else already had gotten up and they're gone already, and you're just sitting there
like the full on, like we were going when you know, we could do it, but it wasn't like I'm guarantee every time. So it was kind of like you were like rolling the dice every time, and then like as soon as you see somebody else pop up, boom, your stomach sinks. You're like
the only one out there, and you're like half
and then
mile,
you start doubting, bro. So fun.
And then you don't get up and you look back, and China Walls is further and further away, and you're like, do I paddle back or do I just send it? And that was at the time we were telling everybody who was getting subs, just send it. Yeah. You were telling everybody, just go, because you picked it up quick, I think. And then, you know, Jack and those guys picked it up quick too. So you're like, just send it. And you guys sent so many people on 3.5 hour paddles. Yeah.
I think Andrew's first one, he went and he had a flight board just like you.
Yeah.
And his first one, we told him to send it, and then he had to end up paddling back like 45, 50 minutes up the China Walls.
Yeah. It's hard to do too on a 6-foot board into the wind.
Just water in your face, eyes are all red. But dude, those were critical days.
Yeah.
But like, you know, I think I wouldn't trade it for anything, because, you know, learning on those boards, your technique, just all the little intricacies that you learned, because you had to squeeze every ounce of juice out of everything going on in order to pop up that 6.0 24 inches wide board, you know.
You're grinding on that Ke-Paloma board too, yeah? Remember that, the version 1 or whatever it was called?
Like insanely narrow for the time.
At the time.
And then it was 78 liters, bro.
Yeah.
The board I ride now, the board I ride now is 106 liters.
Yeah.
Like 30 liters difference.
Yeah.
And I cannot believe, like, hats off to Eric, you know, for thinking like, I'm gonna try and take out my 5.8 and, you know, have a good time. I don't think I would ever.
Do you think it's even really worth it to ride a short? You know, people say, oh, it's a short, like a 5.8 board feels good in the air.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
I don't even think it makes that much of a difference. Like I ride a 9-foot board now.
Yeah.
And, you know, I feel a little difference obviously, but
I think boards, you're gonna get different sensations out of it. Like personally, I think longer boards, in a sense, like will pump downwind better
Yeah.
than a small board.
Yeah.
It's almost like a small board will like get stuck and it doesn't have that like freight train feeling of
Yeah.
getting that like momentum and inertia to just go. You know?
Yeah.
Whereas the small boards, it'll like stay at the top and it's like
It's like my prone board. I feel slower on my prone board.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you feel the foil is overpowering the board itself.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, you've slowed down. Whereas on a bigger board, you can kind of, like the board is over you.
You can handle that energy on the bigger board.
Handling it, and now you're able to like, kind of like multiply it and use that energy.
Yeah.
You know, just a little passing shot. It's all good. It's been super muddy. It feels good, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's different. I don't like turning on a big board is fun too.
Yeah.
You know, it's just different.
Because you're turning on the foil, but the board is just kind of like, I don't know.
In my opinion, it's almost closer to surfing because you're surfing the foil and then you're kind of surfing the rail line of the board.
Yeah.
Whereas like, you know, like when you see guys, like when Jack's on his like tiny little like tow board.
Yeah.
And it looks like a McDonald's tray.
Yeah.
Like it just, it's too whippy that it doesn't, in my opinion, like absolutely reflect the same lines that you had in surfing.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
But they're super fun to ride because they're super responsive, right? Those tow boards. But I don't know. I wouldn't go super long, like for racing.
What are you gonna ride this year?
So the board that I'm racing is an 80 F1 board.
That's what you're gonna use for the.
Yeah, I think so.
Or you cannot disclose that yet. Yeah.
No, I can't. But I think for sure for the channel races and Maui, it's nice to have those big long boards.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Right? Because the skill of paddling up, flat water starting, or trying to keep up with the speed of the bigger bumps, you need that board, right?
Yeah.
You're not gonna. It doesn't make sense to. There's no advantage of having a smaller board for that scenario.
And I fell a bunch of times on the M2O last year, so
Really?
it was so easy to get up.
Oh yeah, to get them. Yeah.
Especially those bumps that are so
Those
far
big
apart,
bars. Yeah.
Yeah. But
If your board's too small, I mean, it's fun and it's surfier. I think it's just a different lens, you know, like, and I think people don't realize that there's so many different ways to downwind. There's racing, like Molokai and those bumps. There's like taking out the 5.8, maybe having fun surfing the whole time.
Yeah.
But I think, like, and what I was getting to, I think having something right in between and having like kind of like a mid-length style of a SUP downwind board is something like where it's at. Where like you can still paddle up pretty easily and comfortably without working too hard, but then the board feeling is nice where you could still have that freight train feeling, but also like surf.
But it doesn't matter as much, because the race changed.
Yeah, so I think this year, there's a lot to look forward to. We're starting in the bump.
I know.
I think just for us too, like last year was a learning year.
Yeah.
And I remember like, you know, telling all the boys like everything was learning. Gear, the race experience itself, right? And just kind of dealing with the pre-race nerves, talking to everybody, seeing everybody with all their gear. What are you gonna use? What are you gonna use? What are you gonna use, bro? Eric didn't have any sleep that night.
Yeah.
You know? You were in the house, yeah?
Yeah, a lot of us. Yeah, we're so just stressed on what we're gonna ride.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then just getting out there in the race course. I think last year racing was surviving, and we were just like trying to figure it out.
None of us did any of those runs before.
None of us. I mean, maybe a couple practice runs, but like it was still. I still feel like the whole racing. The whole racing like mentality was new for all of us.
Yeah.
Right, because it was a pretty new sport, and we're trying to figure out mentally how to prepare, how to execute, and how to like strategically put a race together. You know, and this year, like, bro, big hats off to John, you know, he's putting on these local races.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And bro, that's huge for us, bro. It's like, for us, getting to that level, we're super comfortable. Like in
It's the last quarter or fifth of the M2O too.
Bro,
That race that we've been repping out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Super important. But not for me. Like for me personally, bro. For me, it's like being comfortable and not stressing. You know, because there's a lot of shit like you said, bro. Like when we're learning, and then like we're like popping up, and guys aren't, and you're not up yet, and you just start like failing in your head.
Yeah.
You know, crashing, and then, bro. To me, that starts all over again when you're racing.
Yeah.
Because now you have all these expectations and stuff, but.
Anytime I try to get up and I fall, like just a quick 5 seconds, I just start panicking. I'm like, I got.
Like if you don't get up on your first shot or something, you're
like,
just like
you're behind, you know.
behind. Yeah,
Especially on races when you're racing Andrew and Edo and Kane and those guys, like
you gotta make zero mistakes.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and then you gotta have a great race. And dude, those guys are so high level, and it's gonna be like super exciting to see all the boys in our crew do well. I think have strong races.
yeah. I think doing those races last year, like, put us so far ahead. Now we know what to expect. Now we know, because the M2M, we all paddled out late. I don't know about you, but we all paddled out so late, bro. We were still paddling out, and the horn went off. Me, Edo, Kagi, were all just near shore, like
Panic.
waiting. Yeah, what I was like, we didn't know what the race was.
Yeah.
Any of it. And what I've learned for all of these races is, except for the M2O, but like 99.9% of the time, I feel like it's faster to go the outside line. I don't know. What do you think? I that's in my opinion. I've always lost.
I think
going inside. For the M2M, I lost going inside. For all these Hawaii Kai runs, I try to take the inside line and I lose. I'm like, I just always feel like the bumps are moving faster.
Yeah. I think so. I think what's crazy is, you know, all these years, and I would call like all my pally friends and like, hey, what's a line? What's a line? Because, you know, like, I would call my buddy Jimmy, and he was like, he's, you know, multiple winner of the Maui to Molokai.
Yeah.
And for those guys, the line is always to go to Molokai and then shoot it down the Molokai cliffs.
Oh. Okay.
So like they're like
the tightest rum line almost.
Yeah. But they basically, what's happening is they're in canoes, so they're going slower.
Yeah.
So, a lot of times when they're in deeper waters or in the channels or the outside line, their canoes can't keep up with those big bumps. So they're kind of like, they're like this, right? Whereas if they shoot over to Molokai, and get to the coastline and to the shallower waters or to the bay-like conditions where it stacks as steepers, they can just be nose down the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, and just kind of
those bumps.
riding the bumps, surfing, having a better average speed. Last year, like when I did N2M, I went on the canoe line and got there to the shallow waters, and it was easy in the sense that you could just stand there. Yeah. But it was,
you couldn't chase out bumps, because it was like
because it was so tight. So I think for sure, getting into staying in the deeper waters where the bumps move faster and the troughs are bigger and longer. Yeah. And it's just our foils are efficient enough to keep up. But I don't know. There's always an inkling in the back of my head that there's some sort of gamble to it, because you know, the closer you get to Kaunakakai, where the finish is, it kind of turns like offshore. Yeah. So if you're outside and you're trying to come in, you know, like you could fall,
not make it. Yeah.
Whereas like, you know, if you went inside, now you're like running with it. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's always a gamble and the strategy, you know.
But I rode my 150. I should have rode the 110 that race.
Yeah.
I called my buddy who was living on Molokai at the time, the morning of, and at 9 o'clock he was like, bro, it's flat over here. So I was like, I'm gonna go pump by everybody at the end, and like the last 2 miles were flat, so I'm just gonna like make up all that ground right there. And by the time we got there, what did the race start at, like 9 or 10 or something, and like 11 or 12 we got there, and it was just, the wind had picked up and it was just nuking, and I was like, I was just so mad at myself, and I couldn't go any faster, so I just started just cruising, and I was like,
you think you'd ever race like the 120? Not at this point, because you're just go at 110, yeah.
No, I might think I maybe.
But yeah, no, like even for me, like I'm trying to like devise a strategy, like my whole like, and it's cool because I feel like every one of us in our crew, they have different like outlooks on racing strategy. I'm always like so torn because like I want to keep up with you guys and Andrew and the Edos, but like I just fully just like submitted that like, bro, these young bucks, bro, like Uncle Nook can hang, you know, like I want to go fast, you know? But so like my strategy is like molded into like safe, conservative. Safe is fast.
Yeah.
If you don't fall, you're fast. If you can pump to the finish line, you're fast. You pop up right away, you're fast, right? And just let the experience come in and try my best to downwind.
It's always faster to pump to the finish, no matter what.
Yeah.
Seen so many
I mean,
examples.
bro, but you, I mean, you've been riding the 110 in all the races, and you know, like on the very few occasions where like the Kaimana section's offshore, but everyone's coming down.
Yeah.
You know, so I guess that's a gamble. But yeah, no, like everyone has a different strategy. You know, like for me, when I analyze you, like you're super athletic, so it doesn't matter. Like you're always popping up super quick, or you're always the first one popping up. You're always pumping super far, whether it's on the 110 and the conditions are terrible. You're always gonna be fast. A guy like Kane, he's like gear nerd. So like he'll show up and he's gonna choose the best swing for each race every time. And it's fast, and he's like doing all this weird shimmying, spooky tails. And
that's what scares me though, bro. You get too many options, then you think too much. You know?
No,
Whereas,
that was me last year. That was Eric Sermon. He couldn't sleep last year. Bro. A guy like Andrew, he's very tactical. Very like you talk to him and you can tell that he has a strategy. You know, like logistically, like, oh, straight line, that's possible. Like, he's very tactical. And then like, you know, I was talking to Edo, and he just has like, he has that full killer instinct mentality, where he's like, we were chatting, and he's like, yeah, like I'll just pump for as hard as I can for like 2 minutes, and then I'll rest. I'm like, I've never thought to do that, you know, but like he just has that freaking go mentality, and he's able to like go fast. You know? But like, it's cool because everyone has a different like approach. You know, and then like Jack is just like the young talented kid. Just show up with zero training and just go and just keep up because he's talented. Like I said, for you, your approach is, I feel like you're just like super talented and athletic too. You know, like pop up quick, strong, pump. You know, mowing bumps. You know,
my goal is just to make it to the finish line every day, on a smalling.
Every time. You know, but I don't know. Like I said, maybe things all change. Are you gunned in and locked in to ride the 110? For sure.
Especially with the
new race course.
For every race, I'm gonna try to stomp that out, no matter what.
And from what we hear is like they've improved like the stiffness and
So that thing is
Andrew is moving this year. Watch out for
with the new mask
and Nick. No. So what is training been looking like for you this year?
Bro, I've been doing triathlons. I have a race on Sunday. So it's the Olympic Honolulu Triathlon. 1 mile swim, 26-mile bike, and 6-mile run. But I've been running, choke, and biking. I swear biking is the best cross training for foiling. Because when I first started biking, I was like going, and my back foot was so strong on the bike, and my right leg was like so weak, and I could barely get the pedals around, but my left leg was like strong. So I was like, oh, this is like identical to foiling, you know, like this is like what's getting all that energy out. And then I just started biking, and now it's even now, and I swear I could pump like so much stronger. I talked to the Tahitians too, like raw guys over there. And today, and they were like, they're all biking too now.
No, so like, bro, I think Tahitians were the French Polynesia, and they have the big like French culture and like Tour de France. Bro, no, I'm not lying, bro. Like, I would go like to Tahiti for paddling, and like we would try and listen to like what those guys would do for cross training, and they were like running mountains and biking. Like they would get speed bikes or road bikes and just bike like maniacs. Super good cardio and
low impact too.
You know, I actually like that. I'm afraid to overtrain,
Yeah.
because for us we use our legs so much foiling that the last thing that I want to do, because I'm older than you, I'm not young bucks like these kids, is like I can't cross train and beat up my legs some more.
Yeah.
Because I need them fresh for foiling. So like,
So what are you gonna do to train that? Besides
probably
foiling?
run, swim.
Yeah.
I think this year for me, my thing that I'm gonna implement and add is definitely surf foiling more. I mean,
Helps a
like,
lot, yeah.
It helps a lot, bro.
Yeah.
And there's, like I said, I've been like an active athlete for a while now, like paddling, canoe paddling, jiu-jitsu, grew up doing sports, now foiling.
Yeah.
Bro, there's two things that you cannot replicate, like how exhausted and how high your heart rate spikes, and that's from surf foiling. Just pure exhaustion, like pumping around and staying up. And then flat water starts,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
like two pumping,
Yeah. Full body workout. I read the study and it was like cross country skiing is the hardest like physical, physical, like I don't know whatever.
Exertion.
Exertion. Yeah, and it's so similar to like downwind, popping up. Flat water starts because you're using your upper body, you're using your lower body. It's cardio, it's anaerobic, aerobic, like all of those things into one to create that burst of energy and then hold it for, an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it has to correlate super closely. So I think we're like
I think we're
pretty
up
good
there.
shape, Yeah.
Well, I feel like our sport is still so young and new that we don't have the scientists studying and like analyzing and researching it. But like for us guys, we know.
Yeah.
Bro, like I said,
When
like
you first started foiling and you miss a wave and you got to paddle back out, you're just like, you're just exhausted and you get mad and you're just like,
yeah. No, it's. I'm in the best shape of my life from foiling.
I think so. Yeah. It's a good
And
workout.
it's nice too because what we like to do in surf foiling and downwinding, it's enough like variability. Like we haven't had winds for a few weeks now, but it's nice because like we give our bodies the rest that we need.
Yeah.
Get back out there in the surf and kind of rejuvenate our body in other ways. So that when it comes time for like, closer to race mode, then boom, we can like be hungry again. Because I like, it's cool because like, like I'm seeing everybody and how they prepare and train this year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's new for a lot of guys, right? I mean, even for you, right? Like this whole being like, I mean, you're an athlete, but like,
Different kind of athletic.
preparing for like a race, one race,
Yeah.
like months out at a time, it's like, like guys approach it differently,
Yeah. Andrew and I are approaching it opposites this year. So last year, he was running nonstop and like, doing all that cardio work. I was in the gym, just like lifting every day, taking pre-workout, creatine, just like, I probably got to like 205.
Yeah.
And I don't think that helped. So this year, I dropped weight. I'm like probably 10 pounds lighter.
Mm-hmm.
And running.
And Andrew,
biking.
like,
Andrew,
long
massive.
arm, he was like long arm gorilla for a little bit.
Yeah. And he was like at 210, 211.
Yeah.
So I feel a lot stronger this year just running and biking, like barely in the gym.
I think,
That's it.
yeah. Like there as long as we approach it with balance, like, yeah, of course we need our muscles to be strong, but you don't need to be muscular to be a good foiler.
Yeah.
To me, like that's what I liked about paddling too, is like everyone thought that you need big guns and muscles to paddle like good and strong, but it was actually about technique and riding the ocean. So like it always felt so good to like go by with my dad bod, like you lit with these guys. So all these guys with big muscles, but I think foiling is the same way, right? Like it's a sport where we tap into experience, knowledge, and I guess kind of like maybe it's like a racing sport, but it's also like a very individual sport because you're dancing with the ocean individually, right? You're only going to go as fast as the ocean's going, or how fast you could go with your foil, right? And it's trippy. Like I feel like too, that's like another the psychology of racing, right? It's just not worrying about who's around you, who's faster than you.
But you did all those growing up, yeah. So
It's in the family, right? So I'm used to it, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm aware of it, you know. So like I said, when I'm seeing people like how they're preparing, I'm like, okay, like I have my strategy. I'm not saying it's like the strategy, but like what I think this year I'm applying what works for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, even just being comfortable in race situations, right? Taking off, not worrying about who's around you, and just worrying about, you know, the bumps in front of you. And having the most fun and surfing well, bro, guys are flying.
Yeah.
You know, but like the second you see somebody like go right by you and they're like, like screaming, and then you're like, why?
Or the worst is you're working hard and they're just kind of just like
standing there.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
And you're like
brain damaging you in the conversation. You know? This guy, bro, it was kind of like that one day, you know, like we go look it up on our Voyager feed. There's a video of Nick and I, and we were just had fun, bro. Like, Nick packed a sandwich, and bro, like
peanut butter and jam.
Peanut butter. It was just fun to like just cruise and talk story, but then like go so fast, and you know, it's funny how that works, you know.
Yeah, I remember we were training so hard, and then the second we stopped training after the races, it was I had so much fun. I was like, well, this is what foiling is, you know. And we were all talking story, just ripping, carving turns instead of just going from point A to B as fast as possible.
You're right, bro. That was so much fun. It was like because everyone was still here.
Yeah, the first run after.
Oh, bro, that was the best, man.
Yeah. All the wings lifted off.
Big monkey off your back, and just having fun. But to me, that's what it is, bro. It's having fun. That's the Voyager community.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing, bro.
Yeah, just not what I would be doing without foiling right now.
Me too. I don't know. I'd be a grumpy surfer in the lineup, snapping you.
I thought this sport would have kind of plateaued too. You know, like I would have thought, okay, it's a fad. You know, the hardcore guys like us are gonna stay in it, but just more and more people keep, you know, asking for lessons and boards and like, oh, should I buy this board, that board? Like, Tongs just keeps getting more and more crowded. You know. And there's more foilers than surfers nowadays. All the time out there.
Yeah. To me, what I'm excited about is just like for us, like for sure, I would have thought foiling would have plateaued, but like it's exciting for us because like we're racers, and you know, like we're very fortunate enough to be taken care of by, you know, like brands like Lyft and F1. But I'm excited because like, you know, there's opportunity to go and travel the world. And
we have friends in Australia, Tahiti, you know, France, all like because of this.
There's guys who like I would consider close friends, and I've offered them to like, welcome to stay my house. You know, like I've never even met them before. You know, like, but like because we're like such a tight knit community. Like
that's the best part about this sport, in my opinion, is I can go Oregon and become best friends with somebody because we're both holding a foil and we look at each other and we can just have a million things to talk about.
Oh my gosh. Are we going to Hood River this year? Well,
I never changed the race. I know. Well, the race is the same day as.
We should go for like just fun expression session, and go, maybe do some clinics up there. I mean, I feel like the Hood River is such a good community where like that's such a great place to learn. I feel like, you know.
Oh yeah, everybody can pop up there.
Everyone can pop up good, but it's like a great place to rip it up. I feel like in practice. You're on a river, right? It's safe and stuff. But
when's the Voyager camp start?
Voyager camp.
Soon, yeah.
Voyager camp is month of June, so we're a couple weeks out.
Yeah.
Can you help out?
Yeah.
Help out, man. It's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be a blast. Like I said, I'm not like stressing out about. I mean, of course, I want everybody to learn and have a breakthrough.
Yeah.
But I think it's just gonna be a great time to just be with everybody.
So it's one full week of just straight foiling. And downwind again.
Yes, and we've like orchestrated a full like itinerary and plan curriculum, but it's gonna be.
There's so much opportunity from like, you know, I always think business mindset.
Yeah.
There's so much like opportunity to be made. You know, it's so new, and everybody's like, not sure where the sport's going yet. You know, you kind of know.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
there's so many different channels. I don't know. I don't want to go too into it, but like
I think like
classes and like things like that. Yeah.
I think for me though, and for Voyager, like I've always, I don't know. It's like I'm not terrible businessman. Like I give shirts away to Olive Oil. You know, like, for me, like I feel happy just like, you know.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. It's not something that you can like put in a box and for Voyager. You know, it's just the sense of community. Put in a box and, you know, replicate it or sell. You know what I mean? Just fully. Be super business. I think that's what's great about it. It's organic. You know, and it's whatever. Everything is like super limited edition. Like I'm not like like I don't know, like trying to like keep stock of stuff, you know, and terrible. But I am cool.
Hawaiian style.
Yeah. Local bottle style, you know. But it's just cool. I just love connecting with people.
Yeah.
You know,
it's awesome.
Group chat goes off. Bro, it's so fun, like riding in the cars with people up to our destination and just catching up with life.
Right, you learn so much too in this car rides. Too.
Oh yeah,
that's like the best part.
That's the best part.
Yeah.
Right, and it's cool because everyone has like a different like opinion of the same topic. So you're just
I've gotten a lot of like other like life advice too. You know, not just foiling.
Oh yeah,
but like. Yeah, there's so much. I've learned so much. Obviously, foiling and non-foiling as well.
Here we are 4 years later, bro, from when you started, and it's crazy to think where we started, what we were riding, and our skill level, and thinking that we're good, and to here we are now. You know, so that to me, like that's what's so fun about foiling, and it's just constantly grinding and getting better. And improving, like even like we'll look back in 2 years from now and be like, I can't believe we were doing that. You know, we're riding those wings. I think you were good back then.
I wonder what do you think the future? I always think about this question. Like, one is foiling ever going to be in the Olympics? You know, and it sounds like a stupid thing to ask, but if someone said 20 years ago, you think surfing is going to be in the Olympics, you would have just said,
like, exactly.
Yeah, you would have been like, dude, don't ask stupid questions like that. But you know, I don't like. Don't count it out. I don't know. You know.
No, don't count it out.
I might be too old by the time it happens, but like I don't know. What do you think? Like, I always think about that.
I think
20 years from now,
there's gonna be so much growth for racing. There's gonna be more people. Gear's gonna be better, of course. We're still exploring cool places to go in Downwind. You know, to like me, that was a shocker when I went to France last year. Like I always thought that Hawaii was the best place to foil, Downwind foil. You know, but like, bro, France was macking. You know, and France was.
I want to go this year.
You know, but and there's windy places all around the world. You know, and it's cool, bro. We're just now we have the skill set to take our boards and our gear and go
explore.
Yeah, and I think that's what we all should do.
Yeah, you know, provided we get the sponsorships.
Yeah,
to get there.
We'll create some killer content for everybody. You know,
so I'm excited to go, like, back and travel now because of foiling. You know,
yeah,
opens up so many doors.
I mean, the world's so big, but the community's still so small, and it's gonna stay small with foiling. I feel like. It's funny whenever I see like the WSL feed pop up or just like Stab Mag, and like, bro, there's so much people like complaining about something. You know, like surfing where there's a judging or like surfers complaining or the conditions or women surfing. It's, bro, there's some, and it's crazy. It's like surfing is so fun, but it's gotten to that super mainstream level. That it's like the peanut gallery is so large that like it's almost like negative to surf. Not negative, but like,
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas like foiling, it's just we haven't hit that yet, and everyone's still so stoked, and we're just on this like rocket ship climb of just like Stoke and community and just froth.
And
you know,
No, I'm excited.
I feel like it's gonna continue that way, you know.
Yeah, there's gonna be more and more FOILERs.
More and more.
Yeah.
But
But even Rich's friend, that one guy that came out, you saw a text from Rich. So his friend.
yeah, you go
First
tell
time-
everybody about.
Yeah, so Rich brought his friend out to sample Rich's foil. And he's like, oh, just come learn at Tongs for a time. He paddled out to Tongs. Everyone was his best friend. First day. You know, and like you go out surfing, you don't talk to anybody. You say, how's it? You know, or that's it. But he paddled out, and everyone was friends with him. Talk, oh, what you riding? Oh, how's it going? Oh, you learning? Like, oh, this is what you got to do. You know, everyone is so supportive, so helpful, and like, I don't think people realize how how nice everybody is right now because it's such a new thing.
Such a new thing. It keeps us humble. And yeah, we're just like so encouraging. It's probably like when in the 50s or the 60s when like you were surfing, like surfing in the 50s or 60s, like not everybody had a surfboard. So like when you saw somebody with a surfboard, you'd be like, you know, like
Connect with them and
exactly.
Yeah.
So, but I like I said, I don't see it capping off the falling because gear is just gonna continue to get better.
Yeah.
Brands can continue to get better. You know, the love is going to continue to get better. So it's not like we're all gonna settle.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
It's fun news though.
but yeah, man. So how you feeling for Molokai? Good, strong, or
Yeah,
racing
I feel
season?
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because of the triathlon round,
bro.
Sick.
Love training, bro.
Yeah. Running, swimming, biking every day.
I think. Well, I think yeah. Like I said, I think that's the key. Is cardio is the key. We already have the voyaging skill set and knowledge. So I don't know.
Yeah. So my biggest concern is the line, the line you're gonna take for the race, and you don't need to share your specific line, but so my line for the M2O
Last year or this year?
last year. Last year, so it was from Kulukai to Hawaii Kai. Right, everybody foiled 32 miles. On my watch, it said 36 miles. Right, so the rum line was here. It's the south side, the north side. Right, I did a rainbow, a big rainbow, and every time I was like trying to catch a bomb coming downhill, my boat was like, "Go more north, you're going too south," and like we programmed the wrong line. So I don't want to get too into it, but long story short, we were aiming for that the whole time. I said just the start, we aim for it and then come down. But we just started working up high, and when I realized I was too high, I just foiled 36 miles.
Yeah, it's hard,
bordering
bro.
higher.
I think even this year, because it's a new race course, and in my opinion, there's way more like degrees of lines than you could take. Just pretty much another 8 miles, right, from Hawaii Kai to Kaimana. You could take like all these different angles.
Yeah.
You know, and they're all gonna be good or different or slower or faster.
But you can't even choose your answer until you see the conditions that day, you know?
Exactly.
So,
I mean,
as much as you...
I think a lot of people don't know, but our Molokai last year was great.
Like, condition-wise?
Condition-wise.
Yeah.
Because, like, I've been out there in channels where, like, obviously we can't do it, but, like, been out there in channels where it's flat or upwind.
Yeah.
Or if there's a little hinge in north in the wind.
What do you do on those days? Well, I know for paddling, you just paddle.
You just paddle. But, like, the north wind days, like, you want to be north. Because the closer you get to Oahu, the winds, like, start turning offshore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's more advantageous.
No, but, like, you're going to still run the race kind? No matter...
We mean for us?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to I'm not trying to 40 miles, you know?
But they would run it, you think?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, bro, like, last year's race, pretty east, pretty good. I mean, yeah, there was some flat spots, but I would rather have that and still be able to surf and pump than have, like, a day where there's not.
Yeah. Or, like, the bombing day a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
For the OC1 race. Yeah.
I think so, you know, like, when you go north like that, I think it's interesting because, like, you're probably just sticking to your plan. But, like, if you're, like, seasoned and veteran and you've crossed the channel many times, what's happening is you're hitting little checkpoints along the way.
Yeah. And
then if the criteria is matching up, then you like, okay, let's stick with it. But now, like, you know, like, you go, you're like, pop, I'm more north than I normally am.
Yeah.
Like, maybe I should start turning down. Or, like, you go in, you'd be like, ooh, boy, like, the wind's kind of northerly and, like, kind of real side shore, like, I should continue going up, you know? So it's like you're assessing what's happening and then you're adjusting on the fly. Yeah, I mean, look, how are you, bro? You're quarterback, bro. You know, you're like, you stand there, you know, at the line of scrimmage right before the what is it, the hike, you know,
The snap.
The
Yeah,
snap.
I don't know. Yeah, whatever.
and then you're kind of just reading the defense, right?
Yeah.
Rather than just like sticking to the play that's called. Right? You go in there and you're seeing like where the linebackers or where the, you know what I mean, or who's showing the little tells of blitzing. And I think that's how or where the experience can do.
That's different
For the channel.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's just getting there, analyzing it, make sure you choose the right gear.
Yeah.
You know that your fitness is in shape and all the work is done, and now you're just executing. And, you know, like I said, you're just executing in quarters, right? Like, you know, first quarter went great. I feel good. You know, second quarter, like, oh, shoot, we're maybe like, you know, we're like 3 points down, one possession. You know, and then, you know, it's kind of like, okay, like, how are we going to play conservative or safe or aggressive here? You know, like, and it's just being comfortable with adjustments.
Yeah.
You know,
I've only ever been in that channel one time for
know.
the race, so I fully just kind of just send it, you know.
Yeah.
I know
that's
I
why I
have that
said,
kind of
bro,
knowledge that you guys have.
last year was survival for all of us.
But I feel like
Most of us.
if you did the races last year, you're night and day ahead of.
Bro, wealth
Yeah.
of knowledge
Yeah.
going into races.
Yeah, because my both all those races I never done before.
Mm.
I just set blindly, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna follow like those good guys.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great strategy too, bro.
But I couldn't keep up
Yeah.
on my 150, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a great year ahead.
And then
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun and great to see everybody, and then just to, like, foil everybody afterwards.
but get this. I still have never done a Maliko run.
What?
Yeah, I've still never been a Maui with my foil. Besides that,
So all those times that we went and you just
no, I never gone yet.
You didn't do
I've
the
never done
Maui
it.
wing?
No,
Oh,
we were in Hood River that year, last year.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Dude, we should go. We'll head up Andrew and Kane and all those guys. And I think a lot of the visitors for all the races, they end up making Maui their HQ.
Yeah.
And they train out, so we'll for sure be over there.
Yeah.
And get over there.
Got to do one run before the paddling wall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you did, is yeah, guaranteed.
Yeah. This year.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Sick, man. Any other reflection before we sign off, or what? Shout outs.
I gotta shout out my board maker,
The
Brother Danny. Yeah.
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 Go ahead. Reel them off, bud.
No. It's just I'm just stoked. I'm like, yeah. With Danny, he's helped me out a lot. So
Lift.
yeah, and Lift too.
Yeah.
Lift is always awesome. So
Yeah.
everybody got their own. You gotta watch out, you know, when new guys go and ask about setups, because everybody, you know, all of us kind of sponsored now.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna say, oh, bro, F1 is the one, you know, and then I'm gonna say, oh, bro, Lift is the one.
Yeah.
And everybody has their own. So you kind of gotta ask everybody.
Ask everybody. Yeah. I mean, as excited and frothy as you feel,
Yeah.
you know, be measured about it. Go talk to everybody, get a lot of input, try things out,
Yeah.
you know.
Or like talk to like Jeff or Phil, you know, those guys are like,
Yeah.
they tried everything.
Pretty measured,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing, dude, bro. Ask one of those uncle guys. Don't ask the 16-year-old Jack from town who's super athletic and like can pump around on anything. You know, everything needs to feel good to Jack. So yeah, ask those Phils, ask those Jeff Changs, and ask those uncles. You know.
Yeah, you talk to Jack. Oh, bro, this thing's good. You know, that's all. That's all.
I ever rode.
Yeah. Whereas you talk to Phil and he has, you know, comparables and notes and
He has good analysis. On
yeah.
You know.
So those are the guys you got to talk to.
Yeah.
Because you look on Facebook Marketplace, I'm helping my buddies find it.
Yeah.
Bro, every wing looks so different, you know, and you're like, for a new guy.
Especially for a new guy, it's so overwhelming because you have no idea what works.
And one wing's $400, one wing's $1,500, and you're like, I don't know, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I don't know. What advice do you have for a new foiler? Just cheap setup just to learn, or what?
Bro, to me, it depends on how I read their level of commitment.
Yeah.
If they're kind of
just
unsure, but they kind of want to get into it, I'll say just go for something cheap.
yeah.
Get your more, they want it all,
Yeah.
then I'll be like, hey, one time,
Good.
get the good setup, and then you can roll into it, and you're gonna be solid.
Yeah. Yeah. You might suffer for a few weeks and then.
Yeah. But I think it's just reading those individual parts.
Yes.
And so that might be my kid's boxing guns there. Roger. Okay, bro. Well, bro, awesome chat.
Yep.
Nick Kapule's a legend, everybody. Don't sleep on this guy. Dark horse from
Voyager foiler right here. This guy
Dark horse.
pushing the sport along. Voyager foiler. Yeah.
But yeah, man, looking forward to you killing it out there this year.
Both of us, hopefully. Yeah.
Out there representing the crew, Hawaii, and the sport and everything, and just pushing it forward as always. You know, and to me, that's what it's all about. It's about for the sport. You know, always.
Yeah.
For the sport, for the kiki, for the mafa'aina, and
You know, too many brown skin guys doing this either. You know.
Yeah, we're recruiting, bro.
Yeah.
Always recruiting.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Ran on.
Killer.
Shoots.
Kumula.
Doom. Oh,
Simeon.
We didn't go. That's right. We avoided the whole freaking tomb thing, Cherry.
Yeah.
Call you. Never mind. Call you. Oh, freaking! I hit a box shop. How's it looking out there, bro? Look, bro. It's kind of looks backward, bro. Look at the white caps going that way. Oh yeah. You see it, yeah. Going left.